Welcome back to Twin Flame Psychic 1111. I'm Karen. Today's reading is all about your twin flame union. What is really going on in your connection right now? How do they truly feel about you? What do you need to know from Spirit? Freedom. Freedom. Like your lives have completely transformed. It feels totally ecstatic, so serene. You associate each other, how you feel about one another, how you feel about yourselves and the oneness, with so much serenity, calmness and peace. You may have lots of fantasies about each other where you're just holding each other, cuddling, making love, where it feels very serene. A lot of serotonin is like released in your bodies. A lot of happy hormones, relaxing, healing. You can slow down and just be with each other. Since you've met each other, there's immense progress that you've both been achieving to do with this liberation, to do with living from a totally different state of being, living much more in alignment with your true natural state of the infinite soul, beyond all of the pressures that we're convinced are normal for a time in this world, convinced that the system and the way we are living is normal in this false matrix, but really that's very exhausting. We shouldn't be living like this, you know, constantly needing to stress and work for money in order to survive, or to, you know, the more money you have, the more options you have. All kinds of different systems. We're not eating, the vast majority of people, we're not eating how we should be, because there's all chemicals and the like put in our food. Stressing, trying to achieve a lot of things based on what we're told we should be achieving through the false matrix. You and your person, your lives have completely transformed. You are living from the heart. You are living from infinity. This is the source, the wellspring of peace, wholeness, all things that feel wonderful and amazing. And when you really, really align with that true presence, the infinite, you actually achieve so much more. We're taught to burn ourselves out trying to do, create and be all of these things. Hustle culture, it's all about speed and rapid and all of these things designed, a lot of social media things designed to shorten our attention span, and we want things quickly, instantly, and you know, all of this technology that's making us lazy, so to speak. But when you slow down, you're more energized. When you do less, you actually achieve more through your energies. You're achieving much more inner peace. You're much more energized, so you can have a much more fulfilling experience. You can put your fullness of being into everything that you are doing. There's no rush, there's no panic, there's no ego drive like telling you you need to do all these things. I'm not being productive enough, I'm not good enough if I'm not achieving this, that and that and the other every waking moment. With each other, you anchor each other into serenity, into presence, into just being. You are connected with that wellspring, that infinite energy of love that flows through you so beautifully and gracefully. And like I said, you can have a much richer experience, a much more wholesome experience and expression of your being, because you feel deeply inspired from this place of peace to give, because you are aligned with that wellspring, your wholeness, you are overflowing, so it's emanating out of you naturally. So then you have the time, the space, the inner peace, the quietness, your mind quietens down when you practice being in presence. So you have that quietness to really feel the energy coming up within you and how it wants to be, how your soul wants to express this in the world. And it's like a much more wholesome energy emanating out of you and being put into everything that you're doing, that you feel so much more fulfilled. It's literally your soul expressing itself, your divinity expressing itself in this world, your own unique individuality as part of the whole of all things. And it's you and your person, you together really have helped this process immensely, because you're so magnetized towards each other, which is oneness. You are one. Look, over here we have the Ace of Cups. It's this energy as well. This is the Chariot, by the way. The 7, the major arcana card. Immense forward movement. The Chariot, it normally shows the yin and the yang symbology, a black and white sphinx. It's all about that forward movement because you've reached oneness. This Ace of Cups here, and look, peace, serenity. The divine has given you this gift of union. This union with each other represents how you are finding union with your true self, union with the infinite, with the soul family, with God, with Source, and with each other. With each other, it's so romantic. It fulfills like the deepest romance, a holy romance. The person who you feel loves you completely, unconditionally. Freedom. Your lives have completely changed. You're moving forwards together as a team, so powerfully. It feels so wonderful. This is you beyond the veil, in true presence, living as we should be living, becoming more of this, being more of the true natural state. 7 of Swords. This was you both had this powerful tendency to go so deeply inwards. This was you subconsciously, before you even knew what you were really doing, was going into presence. This has always been your tendency. It's a very good tendency to have, to be so, and like an introvert in many ways, or introspective. This was you running away from the world. This, I don't mean that in a negative way. There may have been times where you were running away from your shadow, your problems, the world, being avoidant. But I'm seeing the 7 of Swords as like a blessing in disguise, like a positive thing. This was like, this world has felt so heavy, this false matrix. And it is heavy because we've been taught to live in ways that we aren't supposed to be living. It's very distressing for our minds, our bodies, our hearts. It's very exhausting. We're not living optimally with all of these rules, regulations, all of these beliefs about what reality is and what life should look like and how life should play out and what we should strive for. It's all, or a lot of that is nonsense. It makes no sense because it's totally out of alignment with who we really are. This is the shroud of illusion and heaviness that's been purposely put on humanity to make us forget who we really are. You and your person, you are remembering who you really are and living so much more as your true nature. So yeah, you felt this need to retreat from the world. This is like a hiding sort of energy. There was a time, many years, maybe decades, where you and your person were hiding your true liberated self, your soul, away behind walls because this world was just too much to cope with. This false matrix or heaviness. We are taught to accumulate a lot of shame because you both felt so different. Because you're so empathic, you're so sensitive, you're like a sponge that soaks up all energies, because nobody's taught about what it's like to be an empath, how to deal with that, what's really going on. We have to figure these things out over a long period of time ourselves. And you found that alignment. This was you running away. This was you avoiding. You needed to avoid the heaviness. You needed to retreat inwards where you felt freedom. This could be a tendency where you both needed a lot of alone time. Or if you didn't have alone time, then you would retreat into your mind or into, I call it the universe inside of you, the world within, your internal landscape. So this could be seen as you being withdrawn. You may have been surrounded by a lot of people, but you was withdrawn. People found it hard to get close to you. Even if they were like physically right next to you, they would feel like you were emotionally or mentally absent, that there was much deeper layers that you were reluctant to sort of shine out. And it's because it was exhausting to do that. You felt a lot more freedom. You felt this true presence, peace, energized by going inwards. So you may have also both experienced people trying to really pull you out of your shell, pull you out of that internal state and back into the false matrix. You may have felt very pressured. You may have felt criticised and judged, like there was something wrong with you. You may have believed like there was something wrong with you for going inwards, to need to connect with Source so much and your true self. But because you felt so judged for that, I feel like you've both had this wound where you felt pressured to be a false self, to meet people at that level because they were expecting you to, or you may have had to, well, you would have had to operate, in this false matrix. You were also withholding your true self in many ways from this external world because that was how you were retaining some energy, by holding that back and not letting that be sort of contaminated by the shadows, this false matrix. So these are all things that you were both instinctually doing without realizing it. From a very young age, you were retaining a sense of connection with energy, source, love. So this all majorly contributes to why there's so much affinity between you both. Again, the yin and the yang of the two sphinxes traditionally shown on the chariot there's just this complete mirroring, this complete understanding, and you both understand each other beyond levels that you can even comprehend. It's an energetic unity. You feeling so drawn to each other, it feels just right, so right, and it's beyond your control. It just is. There's a nature to your connection, a natural oneness. It's beyond anything, any kind of free will. And I mean that in a good way, because it happens so naturally. You don't have to strive or micromanage or force things or work really hard to make it work. This is also why it's so blissful, so liberating, freedom with each other, because it's a love that just is. It just is. And it feels wonderful, because it's like the perfect lock and key, or the perfect puzzle pieces. It just fits, it just is. And this is the wellspring. That oneness is created like an opening of your hearts, where the divine is flowing into you and through you and out of you so immensely. This is you, Seven of Swords, retreating from the world, not denying the world, but you're in a higher frequency within this world now, a higher dimension while still in human form, and you're anchoring this down. You're making this your reality. You're making the 5D and beyond your daily life. You're living optimally. You're living in your true nature, and you're experiencing this together. Even if you're in a physical separation, you're feeling the depths of reality together. And it's absolutely wonderful. Queen of Cups. So this is both of you. This is an energy. It doesn't mean it's about the feminine or masculine or male or female necessarily. It's an energy. Queen of Cups. This is you both having the deepest desires. And it was coming, and it is coming from your souls. The deepest desire for holy romance, sacred love, twin flame, soulmate. Like, these things have always fascinated you. These I was going to say concepts, because you know, soulmates, twin flames, labels, but basically what I'm trying to say is you've always daydreamed of the deepest love. Like, you've highly valued that. You've always been searching for that. This is something that you really respect within each other. As a divine feminine, you could really, really love your divine masculine, because they are someone who prioritizes love in their heart. Like, that means a lot. Like, you see that as very, very mature, like a divine masculine who prioritizes love, who highly values love. There's a sensitivity about the divine masculine that you absolutely love. This could be something within the divine masculine where they felt their sensitivity was something to feel ashamed of, like in society. But you know, divine feminine, you recognize that this is the divine masculine's biggest strength. It's their maturity. It makes them very wise, makes them very empathic. These are all things that you've been searching for, that you find highly attractive and that you highly value. They value all of these things within you as well. You value maturity within each other because it makes you both know that you're loved, like, unconditionally, that there's a maturity and a deep understanding to be very compassionate, be very awake and aware when it comes to each other, observing each other, you know, holding space for each other to be, just be like your true selves. You can observe each other's true selves. You're at a place where, for the most part, you're not projecting like your wounds on each other. You're not like blinded by wounds or ego all that much, you know. There's a true presence. There's a true ability to really be there, because there's mostly an absence of wounds and fears and shadow when you're with each other. It's not to deny shadow. We all have shadow. You're both healing the shadow immensely, but there's a consciousness with each other. This is a conscious love. You're awake and aware with each other. You may have felt like your interactions with others throughout your life, it was more on that false self level, the pressure to be a false self, the masked self. And therefore it felt like an absence of true presence with people. You found true presence with yourselves by going inwards. You felt true presence. You found true presence with your soul family and spirit guides. This has massively helped you. It helped you align with each other, you and your divine beloved, where, again, for the most part, it's a connection of true presence. You both feel deeply seen and understood, and loved and embraced and encouraged to be more and more of your true selves and to flourish. This isn't about perfectionism. Neither of you, you know, are 100% like enlightened, and that's okay. There's a unconditional love. There's a compassion. There's so much warmth in your love that you share and that you have for each other and therefore yourselves as well, where there's a welcoming energy, very welcoming, very warm, for you to just be, with shadow as well, and times of unconsciousness. But there's a complete acceptance. Queen of Cups, this is the holy romance brought to life in your union. It's beyond your wildest dreams for both of you. This is a very loving, nurturing energy that you both have. It's really coming to life. You've always been this way. Very open-hearted, like giving your heart, wearing your heart on your sleeve. Very holy. Holy hearts. Now it's coming to life. This is your true potential, your fullness of being, the fullness of expression of both giving, fully receiving love. This is what you've both always desired and were searching for, longing for, because that is the portal to presence. That is the portal to a fullness of being. Your true being, the flow of all of that being totally expressed, the deepest fulfillment on the soul levels. We have the Five of Cups. This Five of Cups normally shows 3 cups spilt over, and the person looking at those spilt over cups looking very sad. It's like a loss, but it's like energy flowing away, shadow flowing away. You've both been very disappointed in the past. You're both so happy now, though. You found the Holy Grail. Normally shows 2 cups that are still upright. You found each other. You found this divine union. 2 cups where really you are one. This is the 2 cups as you both offering your heart fully giving and fully receiving. You provide so much peace for each other with this dove here. So, yeah, a lot of disappointment, a lot of heartache. There's a feeling of like times of low self-esteem, because it normally shows the person in a lot of sadness at what's been lost. A lot of self-esteem was lost in the past. Things have totally changed though, you know. You're now releasing those wounds because you can see clearly what was going on. You can see how you were judging yourselves from a faulty mindset. You are judging yourselves from a false matrix perspective of, you know, you are judging like the false matrix. You are judging yourselves based on those rules and belief systems and the wrong way about going about things. But now you have this higher perspective. This true love's elevated you beyond the veil. And you see very clearly that a lot of your pain, a lot of your struggle, a lot of your feeling of loss and disappointment and beating yourselves up was because you had a faulty mindset like we've all been born into having. This isn't anything for us to beat ourselves up about. It's normal, obviously. We're going to believe a lot of things that aren't real when we're told our whole lives. And everyone around us, the older generations, were told the same lies from the generation above them. So, 5 of Cups. You're allowing everything that's been draining you to flow away. And this has made room and continues to make so much room for so much more bliss to come in. And it is. A fullness is coming in of divinity to the point of overflow. You're ecstatic, you're joyous, you're serene. Taking up that 2 of Cups, taking up love, this union, really expressing the depths of your being, living those depths, diving deeply into the infinite. It's so exciting. Really living this divine, sacred romance that you are always longing for. You are longing for wholeness. You really feel that wholeness. You feel like the king and queen energy. Everything that feels luxurious, like king and queen, the crowns, gold, 100%, the word ace, you know, all of these words, all of these symbols, all of these energies that feel very fulfilling, that feel very luxurious. The word sovereignty to me feels like it is a fullness. Like luxury is like a fullness of serenity and things you highly value, sacredness. All of these words, all of these symbols that are energies you feel within this bond. 100, you know, the image and the number 100%, A star, optimal, you know, these are optimal expressions, words, I guess, energies I'm expressing through those words to describe how you feel in this connection. 10 out of 10. 1000%. Basically the infinite. Abundance flowing through you. To say you're ecstatic is an understatement. And a lot of this is to do with the tenderness, the maturity. Look, 2 of Cups. I didn't know this was under here. 2 of Cups. 5 Cups, like I said, normally shows 3 Cups. Disappointment, the false self, the old way of seeing things that was holding you both back, making you feel so drained, making you feel unworthy. All of that illusion flowing away. Taking up this 2 of Cups. Balance. We have the Chariot here. That's all about that balance. Forward progress. Very powerfully. I'm just noticing these felines here, the leopards, the cats. It makes me think of my mum. She still has it, but when I was younger, I remember her getting this, because it was the 80s, right? Like, she had this gold necklace, and it was a leopard, and it seemed to me like very luxurious, and it was very like chunky gold leopard on this chunky like chain, and I really, really like that. So again, that's really just tying into that luxurious feel. You feel like $1 million with each other, and it is literally because of it. It gives you this wholeness of being, this healing energy. You're happy, you feel alive, you feel so attractive with each other as well. This is why it's all like 100%. All of these different areas are just really, really activated, diving so deeply into this adventure, into the infinite as well. 2 of Cups. This is so much romantic love, so much tenderness and excitement and feeling wonderful and magic in the air. Like, even as a kid, you may have been fascinated by things that were like magical or to do with love. The Empress. Wow, this is rebirth. To me, the Empress represents the divine womb that you are both in. You are held within the divine. The divine womb is that internal world, the universe inside of you. You are always retreating into. You are always within that. But in this false matrix, obviously, we have to operate in day-to-day life. So you're always sort of, that was taking you away from your true self, as designed by those trying to control the world and everyone in it, those that feed off of us in a lower vibration, and all of the fear, the suffering, the wounds that creates. Unconsciousness creates wounds and suffering. There are those forces that feed off of that, that are that. It's like an entity within itself. That divine womb was that sacred space within that you were always retreating in, basically aligning with who you really are. You are there together now. You're like twins in the womb. The 2 of Cups, the 2 Sphinxes in the Chariot, the 2 leopards here, the 2 birds. Well, one's a swan, one's a crane, it looks like, but you get my point. Twins in the womb, that which appears to be 2, but you are one. You're fed by the same umbilical cord to the divine, the same oversoul you are within, the same soul family you are within. The same soul family members surround you, have always been guiding you. You may have different, spirit guides, like the spirits who really, really guide you. But there's a whole group a large group that guides you both. The Empress, this is the rebirth. This is you embraced in that serenity as you are growing. As you grow in self-esteem, you are aligning with the divine, aligning with your true self, ascending. It's all about self-esteem, okay? That's what it is. Self-esteem aligns you with the infinite. This shroud of darkness that's designed to keep us from ascending. So we're stuck here, stuck reincarnating because we're still aligned with the shadows and the falseness. So we just keep going around and round in circles. It's a lack of self-esteem that creates that. A lack of self-esteem is feeling separated from source, feeling abandoned, feeling unworthy. You and each other, you create this explosion of like self-esteem within each other, because the love is so sublime, it's so natural, it just is complete love. You are within, and you are that wellspring. This divine womb is the infinite wellspring of love. It's transforming you into so much self-esteem. Therefore you are breaking free from the false matrix, rising so high, so to speak, in consciousness, in ascension, and it's absolutely wonderful. Let's look at some oracle cards. You feel so lucky, okay, because this is such a rare experience. It can become a lot more common as collective consciousness rises over time, over decades. It like this twin flame energy, twin flame union will become more commonplace, because it's basically twin flames. It's like living your true nature. What is really going on in your divine union right now? Luminosity. Yeah, you are aligned with the wellspring of light. You're so loving. Holding this lotus is like the heart chakra, wide open. You give sacred offerings of love wherever you go. Luminosity. You're just shining so bright. It's so healing. It's a warmth, okay? You're glowing with the warmth of self-esteem. The divine shines through you. Source communicates through you. You are that source. You are that expression. It's one and the same. You are drawn to each other's warmth. You may have literally been able to see the glow of this person, their aura, their soul. Feel the warmth, see the warmth. Be so drawn. You both have such a welcoming energy, which may seem like a paradox to many, because like I said, to most people, you have like a thick barrier, thick walls around you for self-protection. Like I said, you were preserving your energy. You were preserving your purity from outside shadow. And you were doing that so instinctively from a very young age. That was you preserving that divine womb that you were in, but with each other. There are no walls. In the 3D, yes, the conditioned self, there could be fears, there could be self-consciousness. It's just like a pattern. It's like a habit that everyone has, to have like false self operating in 3D interactions. But on your true levels of oneness, your true infinite souls, there's no walls between you whatsoever. You actively allow those walls and density to flow away, because you feel absolutely wonderful in this complete oneness with each other. This complete embrace, which represents you embracing all things that are real and divine. Even the darkness is divine, but you are naturally like the highest vibration, which is that freedom. You just really, really activate this all so powerfully within each other. The sacred woman. A lot of, I've said this a few times in the past, a lot of tarot, a lot of oracle cards, they know, like the creators, those who create these cards and publish these cards, they know that it will mostly be females that purchase these cards. So I feel like there's a lot of bias in these cards, where there's a lot of emphasis on like the sacred woman, the divine feminine. That's what's good about the tarot though, because there's equally, you know, the kings and the queens, the knights. There's more like masculine actually in the tarot. But yeah, the sacred woman. Again, there's this emphasis of you both giving so much love. Look, the lotus, which represents the heart chakra, is in the hand here, and there's the heart in the hand here, giving love. So again, this is for both divine masculine and feminine. I really want to highlight that. You're both giving out love. You're doing whatever you can to help people. I really feel that. It's so strong. You want to do whatever you can to make a positive difference. You want to see people coming out of struggles. You want to see people feeling confident, feeling happy, feeling safe and thriving, and you want to see the smile on their face. For both of you, it really makes you feel incredible inside, seeing people happy and knowing that you can help wherever you can, in whatever way that you can. There's a humbleness though also within you both, like giving unconditionally without needing something in return. I'm telling you, you're the Ace of Cups, both of you. You have this excess in a positive way, the overflow of abundance, of love and peace. And you are here to share that. That's why you came on this adventure. That's why you came to this world. Look, the dream catcher. This is filtering. This is capturing nightmares. It's like you both have reached this profound ability to be conscious and be observant of like old patterns of negative thinking that were holding you back. This is always like continually a learning process, and practice makes you able to do this even more. But you're able to observe like negative thoughts, and in the past you both may have got so identified with the negative thoughts, thinking that was reality and creating a lot of your own suffering. But now you're like, I can see that. You catch it in the moment a lot more easily. Sometimes you will both definitely be thrown off and fall into unconsciousness, sort of stumble, trip up into unconsciousness, but it's temporary. you always come back to realizing, this is a painful story. It feels so real. But you know the ultimate truth beneath all things is love, is true presence. That this being in this world is like playing a character. It's a theatre, it's a show, it's an avatar. Who you really are is the infinite being beneath all of that, beneath all things. Yeah, look, yin and yang again. A masculine hand here, a feminine hand reaching out. You are moving beyond all apparent obstacles. There is no obstacles to true love. It's the ultimate force of oneness. This is that perfect lock and key. This is the most amazing experience, the most amazing adventure, serendipity. This is all about the flow of life, the flow of your energies and all the work that you've been doing by going inwards, by retaining that inner peace, that inner sanctuary, presence that allowed you to align, for you to flow into oneness, to meet each other, serendipity. There was amazing synchronicities that brought you both together. I'm telling you, you both wanted like the most sublime love, an epic love story. You both really wanted this. This was like one of your biggest desires, and therefore the divine has given you this amazing gift that is way beyond what you thought was ever possible. It's totally mind-blowing and continues to blow your mind. This is what I mean about the fullness, the wholeness. This epic love story just makes you feel so overflowing with so much joy. And it may have happened so unexpectedly as well, because you may have been in darkness, density, but just around the corner was each other. You met each other and it completely changed your life. Suddenly everything's bright and here's source energy. You're so close to your angels, your spirit guides. You know you're protected. You know everything happened for a reason. You know life is playing out according to a plan. It restored your faith, or it made you have faith. It made you know the divine is real, God is real, source is real. It's so amazing on so many levels, and you're just both so joyous. And because it makes you feel so joyous, you continue to be in this presence of this oneness with each other. You in the stillness, taking time for so much stillness, living from beyond the veil. And this is continually helping you so much to ascend and to also be in that place of consciousness where you can help the collective the most optimally. Soul union, yeah. The soul is the only real thing. That we're wearing these temporary avatars, not to totally disregard like the physical experience. I don't mean it like that, but this is a true union. A love that breaks through all barriers. A lot of physical unions, traditional relationships, in day-to-day life, there's still a lot of barriers. You're physically together, but there's a lot of barriers. Within your true love, with your divine counterpart, there may be a physical distance, but there's no barriers. on the deepest levels, the truest, infinite levels of love, there's no barriers. There's just oneness, soul union. It's making you understand what true love is. This needed to happen this way. I'm hearing from Spirit, to make you realize a lot of falseness in this world, to help you recognize that there is a false matrix, and we've all been thrust into that. We've all been born into it, because you're understanding. It seems like a paradox, but you're understanding what true oneness is and who you really are, and it's beyond this false matrix. This false matrix density is a layer that's been placed on top of us, contaminating us as well on the mental realm. But it's something that can be cast off, and over time it is being more and more cast off, just to have the truth remaining beneath that. But you needed to really know that there is such a thing as a false matrix, this true love, and how it doesn't fit into the false matrix way of doing things. It's not a traditional relationship. It's not what we're told how love should look in regards to that false matrix. Because it's outside of that box, you are living outside of the box now. And you can see, I was once in a box. Telepathy. The true communication of souls. This is a fullness of communication. Again, when you have 3D communication using your voice box, that there's a lot of room for miscommunication, misunderstanding. You can, tell lies. Energies, you cannot lie through energies. You wouldn't even want to lie to each other, you and your person. But what I'm trying to say is there's a fullness of communication. Like you feel the communication, the oneness with each other through the entirety of your being. You are surrounded by each other's essence, each other's vibration. You are one. Within that womb, I love this analogy that I always use. You are like rice pudding and jam. That yin and the yang is rice pudding and jam, and then the jam's been stirred in and it's all just this pink rice pudding. I love that analogy. But that is what you are together. Your energies are one. You don't feel alone anymore. You know the other is within you, and vice versa. I say vice versa, but you are one. There isn't a duality, really. But you feel the throb of aliveness from the other within you at all times, and you know they feel you within them. You're running through their veins, through their atoms. You're emanating out so much love. This is so much love pulsating from your hearts. Communicating love, unity, excitement, intimacy, tenderness, understanding, togetherness, being present with each other. This is what I mean. There's a true presence. And it seems like such a paradox, because we're told, and you would think that true closeness would have to be you with someone physically. But this is the most deepest oneness that you've ever experienced. And you may not be in a physical union. romantic feelings. Yeah, the rose as well, like the red rose is another one of those images that's like a symbol of like the perfect love, sublime divine love. Romantic feelings. Yeah, you both feel wonderful. I'm seeing like the energy of the Knight of Cups. Exciting love, a fullness of love. I know I keep repeating that, fullness and wholeness, but that's the energies I'm really, really feeling. I'm seeing images of like love letters. Anything that you associate with the deepest, most passionate love. This is how you constantly feel with each other. Feel like $1 million. Feel amazing, inside and out. Like your physical bodies are healing from all of the happy chemicals, the happy hormones that are erupting and decreasing stress. Because we're in the false matrix, when we're stuck in that illusion, we're constantly in a state of stress, survival mode. Now you're in a thriving mode. You're in a peaceful mode to just be. You don't feel threat when you are in that presence, within that divine womb, within that embrace, with your true self, with each other and the divine. You feel completely safe and secure no matter what happens on the outside. Interesting. We have regret here. What is this regret about? What is this regret about? Yeah, here's that Seven of Wands again. It came out. No, it didn't. That was the Seven of Swords. Seven of Wands is like barriers. There is a little bit of heartache because you both have felt pressured in this world to have thick walls. And there is a longing for you to be at one with each other on all levels. But there may be self-consciousness, there may be fears that erupt in the conditioned mind from this world where we're always in a fight, flight or freeze, and we believe we're unworthy, we believe we're abandoned. So there's fears of that come up within your union as well, on a surface level, like surface level fears of rejection. And the regret is like, you both have this wish that you could be like as one on all levels, including the 3D, you know, without these barriers. But it does take time to release all of this conditioning, this fear, this fight, flight, freeze, that which we felt we needed to survive in this world. So I really, really hope that this reading has resonated with you very deeply. If it has, please let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. If you didn't realise, I also have another channel which is called Soul Whispers Tarot, where I do lots of very in-depth readings over there about twin flames and about other types of readings as well. So I'll leave a link below this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. So if you click on the link, head on over to the other channel and click subscribe and turn on all notifications. I will really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye.